Hi, my little calaveras. Now, if you're new here, hi, welcome. I'm Jinx. If you're not new, welcome back. And let me know what you think about my new art and this new setup. I think I'm gonna start being on here a little bit and just saying hi and everything. And then maybe tell you a little bit about the story. So, like today, we have a story, and I apologize in advance if I mispronounce this. I did look it up. This story is called Theps. Should come with a warning. It's from Thailand, so if I am mispronouncing it, I do apologize. I mean no disrespect. But with that being said, sit back, relax, and let's enjoy the story together. My grandmother recently returned from a vacation in Thailand. 2 weeks of sun-drenched beaches and blue waters on the island of Koh Samui. And my grandmother returned to the States with a tan, a newfound faith in Buddhism, and a luk tape. My grandmother's luk tape was named Lillian. I found her in a little shop on the boardwalk, cooed my grandmother, holding the plastic bundle of joy out for inspection. Isn't she precious? Lillian was chubby-cheeked with a puckered-up mouth and two close-together green eyes beneath a mop of reddish-brown hair pulled back in braids. She was dressed in a Hello Kitty jumper with white leggings and white and pink high-top sneakers. Fat fingers were decked out in different rings and bracelets. Her blank, somewhat sour face glared at us from between the gap in my grandmother's arms. "Mom, how much did you pay for that thing?" my mother asked disdainfully, fingering the edge of the doll's dress. "It looks expensive." Grandma made shushing noises as she waved away concern. "She'll bring me good luck, won't you?" "Yes, you will." She rocked the doll back and forth gently. I wasn't too concerned at first. My grandma had always been a little off. Ever since Grandpa died, she kind of lunged from one New Age fad to the other. Crystals, Kabbalah, Tarot, and Ouija. Anything to create meaning where she found none. Going in, I thought Lillian was harmless. Grandma's lonely, I figured. This was helping her cope. But as days went by, I found myself growing more and more uneasy with Grandma's relationship with the doll. Lillian went everywhere, my grandma did. In a stroller or clutched in her arms, my grandma started spending wildly. Clothes and toys and jewelry, all for the doll. My mother tried to intervene, cutting up my grandma's credit cards, but new ones came in the mail daily. She spent $2,000 on a specialized crib for the doll to sleep at the foot of her bed. When we tried to broach the subject, my grandmother got defensive. "Lillian needs it," she insisted. Soon after, she was setting a place for Lillian at the table and cooking meals for the doll. We saw Grandma less and less as time went by. The few times we could get her on the cell phone, she would assure us that she was fine, before quickly ringing off. "The baby just will not stop crying," she said the last time I spoke to her. "What baby?" "Lillian, dear. She's being so fussy lately." After that, Grandma stopped answering her phone. A week of silence went by before I drove down there one afternoon to check on her. Her house was dark when I pulled up the driveway. I rang the bell. No answer. I turned the knob. Locked. All the shades had been drawn inside. I used the spare key kept behind a flower pot on the front stoop to open the front door. "Grandma?" I called, flicking on the hall light as I stepped over the threshold. Silence. Inside, the smell was terrible, like spoiled rancid meat. I found them in the bedroom, the small room with the creaky pine bed, where I remembered laying on the blue coverlet and looking at all the old photos my grandma had hanging on the walls. The smell was the strongest here. My grandmother's corpse lay prostrate on the rug at the foot of the bed, her hands flung out and stiff with rigor, reaching towards the large crib a few feet away. The floor around her was littered with debris. Glass plates and bowls and paper cups heaping with remnants of different meals. Plates of half-eaten chicken and mashed potatoes stacked atop of bowls of mac and cheese and half-full glasses of curdled milk. And in the middle of the mess, sitting propped up in her crib, surrounded by plush toys and messy paper plates, was Lillian. The pinched, sour lilt of her lips seeming to suggest a smirk. The coroner ruled that my grandmother died of malnutrition, starved to death in her own house surrounded by food. A problem not uncommon among the elderly, apparently. We buried her on a Friday. The coffin, surprisingly light as my cousins and I, served as pallbearers, and put her house on the market the following Monday. When the family descended on the house to begin cleaning it out, I made sure Lillian was the first thing to go. In a trash bag full of broken crockery and old papers, I left her on the curb out front. Her crib and baby clothes we took to a nearby Goodwill. And that was the end of it. Or so I thought. 2 nights ago, I woke up in my room in the middle of the night to a sound of something tapping. Sitting up in the dark, I tried to place it. Tap, tap, tap. Soft at first, but louder as the tapping continued. The abrupt taps, dragging out into longer, whisking scratches. Tap, tap. "Mom," I mumbled, reaching out for the bedside lamp. Something small was rolling across the hardwood floor. Somewhere in the dark, a child laughed. I leaped out of my bed and lunged for the light, bringing the room into sharp focus. There, in the corner, across from my bed, was Lillian, propped up in the corner with her back to the wall. My grandmother's doll scowled at me. She was naked, save for the tiny panties she'd had on when I tossed her in the trash, and her shiny plastic skin was covered with white chalk dust. A few pieces of yellowing chalk lay on the floor between her rubber knees, and on the wall, in shaky but legible handwriting, was the word, Mommy. I dropped Lillian off at the Lasha Abbey the next morning. The 45-minute drive with her in the trunk of my car were the most nerve-wracking of my life. The abbot, a man named Daji, met me at the gate to the monastery. "Look, Tate," he said simply, taking Lillian into his arms and holding her up to eye level. "Bad." "What is she?" I asked. "Whoever made this, not careful." "Is it alive?" "Maybe." Doll is a vessel. Spirit vessel. Someone invited spirit into the doll. It is supposed to be for children, but this... He trails off. No child here. "Can you kill it? Or... I don't know." Daji nodded. Many people in Thailand abandon these children. Spirit children. Need life. Feed on more than food. Leave her here. We will bless her. I drove home feeling relief. Last night, I awoke to a sound of a little girl's laughter. A small, hard hand on my wrist. "Play with me, Mommy." Fuck. Hi, my little Calaveras. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you being here. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, all the good things. And I hope you enjoyed this story. Who doesn't like a creepy haunted doll? But if we're being honest, like most old dolls, like the porcelain dolls, are always creepy anyway. And have you guys heard about what's going on with Annabelle as she's touring? How there's rumors that she may have caused a fire? Allegedly, of course. No proof there. But yeah, definitely interesting. I will admit, I do find especially old dolls super creepy. If you want, you can comment down below any subjects of stories that you'd like to hear on the channel. Don't forget, in the description, my socials are linked so that way you can keep track of any new uploads or any updates on anything. Also, my email is there if you have a story you would like to submit to potentially be read on the channel. With that being said, remember, my little calaveras, don't let anyone or anything steal your light. Check under your bed at night. And until next time, bye.